Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Morino Ravenberg here again. This is live stream number 13. Let me know if there is anything. Let me know if there's anything that I can do in regards to making this live stream better quality-wise, or if there is a problem in streaming. If some problem shows up, in any case, it's all good as far as I can tell. Everything works fine. Everything works the way it's supposed to. Blah blah blah, etc. etc. Okay. And yeah, as the description states, this will be a live stream that a lot of people are going to like, especially people that are hard up for cash. This is about discussing money spirits. In this, as the description states, in this live stream, I'm going to discuss money spirits. Money, 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 money. Okay. We all want money. We all need money. Generally speaking, at the very least, most of us need money. You need money to survive in society. Otherwise, you won't be able to live normally, or you'll be struggling to get by. We all need money. So yeah, it's all about money. All about money. Some a lot more than others, and so on. In this live stream, I'll be discussing, like I said, money spirits. I'll be discussing spirits that are adept at financial prosperity, material wealth, and related. So yes, just hold up for a second. Let me just place this in the description. The stream is about money spirits. Keep things on topic in general. Yeah, this stream is about money spirits. Keep things on topic in general. So yeah, let me go through the money section on my website. I am also going to link that in the chat bar. The money section on my site. Hello, Code 919. You're online. You're the first one. Congratulations. You're the first. So yeah, that is the money section on my website. So I'm going to go through that. These are all spirits that are adept at financial prosperity and at wealth. The first one is the spirit Alexander, a Jupiterian angel that I work with in trying to attempt treasure hunting. Long story short, the article denotes that I went into the jungle and that this spirit showed me where treasure is hidden. Anything from precious metals like gold and diamonds and whatnot. Long story short, unfortunately, that was a bust. I came close, but I still failed in the end. And I know what the reason is, but nevertheless, this spirit is still suited for money, generally speaking, and for financial prosperity. So Alexander is the first one. Let me know if anyone has any questions on Alexander specifically. I stopped working with Alexander. I worked with him in the beginning of this year. And yeah, the same date basically that aligns with this article. I wrote this article on Alexander on March the 25th in 2019. So yeah, and Code 919 is asking me whether I found any treasure. No. Read the article, please, and you'll see for yourself. Long story short, like I said, I went into the jungle and I found things close to treasure, but I was either unable to access it or the treasure was still, how should I put it, non-applicable. So it wasn't practical. I went into the jungle 2 times in total, 2 or 3 times, and the first time that I went into the jungle was when I went into the jungle the first time. I found gold, but gold was still in its infancy stages, and it was stuck in clay, a giant heap of clay. So it was basically like gold dust. It should turn into gold lumps in let's just say a couple of years, a couple of decades from now. Homer Simpson says hello. Coke 919 is copy pasting from my article on Alexander. I visited 2 locations. The first one had gold, and there was indeed gold present there, but unfortunately, it was in its stages of infancy and was deeply embedded in the clay. Yeah, that's what I said. Any attempt to extract it from the clay failed. Yeah, I tried that too. I tried everything. I tried ordering prospecting fluids online that can separate mud and clay and so on, and overall dirt from other material, but even that failed. You name it. I just kept going on and on and on. Okay, I really did my best, but no, that failed. So long story short, my work with him still failed. But it's okay. I know what the reason is in any case upon further inspection. The problem, again, as usual, the problem does not lie with the spirit being worked with, nor does it lie with the operator. It simply lies within the details. The devil lies in the details. And code 919 is saying so it worked. So yes, listen, long story short, uh, in the worthless shithole called Suriname, the country that I live in and that I was born in, so quote unquote my country. Alexander showed me several locations. This angel that I work with showed me several locations where treasure was hidden. We're talking about gold, diamonds, you name it, precious metals in any case. And I did go to 2 of these locations, but I either didn't find anything, or the treasure was inaccessible, or it was unusable, practically speaking. So yeah, that's why I still call it a failure. I mean, in the sense of just the working, then you can say, yeah, it worked. Okay, everything went fine. But I call it a failure because I wasn't able to capitalize on the treasure and so on. Code 919 is asking me how far are these locations from your home? A couple of kilometers. The second one I had to visit by boat because it was inaccessible by car. It was really in the jungle, and we had to drive all the way up to a certain point, and then board the river by boat, and then go from boat to the appointed location. I used Google Maps as a navigational tool. And the other one was close to a Bush Negro village, let's just say 15 kilometers removed from a Bush Negro village. And it's called Wanhati here, Wanhati. Bush Negro village is called Wanhati. Yeah. He's asking me if I sent something when I found that clay, code 919. No, it's not. That's not how it worked. Okay, when I went into the jungle, there were moments when Alexander just showed me, okay, it's here. Pop. You can start right here, Master Morino. So yeah, I know that it has gold. He's asking me how do I know that it has gold? I know that it has gold. Okay, I confirmed it for myself, and I just know it. No amount of clay is that yellow. You could tell right away. Okay, there were specific thingy branches of gold, almost like it was hit by lightning, kind of like roots in the clay that were golden yellow. Clay is never, under any circumstance, that yellow. Period. In any case, relating to Alexander, again, I know what the problem is in terms of this working not going the way I wanted it to go or how I had planned. But even if I wanted to pick this goal up again, like I said, I don't feel like doing so. Aside from the fact that I don't do new projects anymore, I don't do it. I don't intend on doing it because I simply because it's also impractical for me. At the very least, at this time and date, it's simply impractical. Period. Code 919 is making a funny statement. Finding gold in Suriname is a wonder. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it is. Okay, it all depends on the circumstances. But bottom line is that if I wanted it to be a success, then I would have to invest a good deal in it, which I'm not willing to do. It's simply impractical. Jason Dunn says, just got home in time to join you. Good to see you, Moreno. And Darsho also says, yo. You guys can see at the very top of the chat bar what this topic is about, what the stream topic is about, or what the topic is that the stream is about. Homer Simpson says hello too. He's also with us. Hello, hello, hello. Hello to everyone. Oh yeah, regarding Alexander, he's a Jupiterian angel corresponding to 27 degrees in Sagittarius. And yeah, he specializes in treasure hunting and uncovering treasure. So yeah, that was it. The project as a whole overall was fun, but the expenses associated with this project were not fun. Obviously, the sheer amount of investment that I had to put in was not fun. But it's okay. Moving on. In any case, that was the first spirit that I'm going to that I discussed and what he can do and what not. Blah blah blah. Now on over to the second spirit, unless anyone has any questions about Alexander. Code 919 says, so you spent 12K. That's insane. $12,000. That's insane. Yes, that is insane. That's approximately what I spent. Okay, you have to keep everything in mind. I had to hire guides to guide me through the jungle. After the first time going alone at it with a friend of mine was not a disaster, but navigational wise, it was very difficult. We got stung by bees, aggressive bees, and all of that. It was very dangerous. And in hindsight, when I told people, people told me, holy crap, but that's dangerous. You have no idea what you're encountering there. I mean, you could have encountered any kind of wild animal or a bunch of fucking poisonous snakes or something. And that was true, but it's worth the risk, of course. So I'm not worried about that. My patrons are with me. So yeah, I thought to myself that alone is in itself is enough. And I wasn't wrong. But just to make things easier, the second time I went with a guide, with a couple of guides who I had to pay to, you name it. We had to, I had to charter that boat from there. So I had to pay for fuel, expenses, you name it. I had to pay for driving all the way to there and back. You name it, okay? I had to do all of that. The first time I had to buy equipment for myself. We're talking about a pair of overalls for the jungle, gloves, shoes, okay, boots. I had to buy snake guards. Those are snake protective guards for your legs. How it works is that you simply tie them to your legs, and they're like big cushions. If a snake bites you, then it automatically absorbs the blow or the bite of that snake. I had to buy so much stuff, okay, as for me as well as for my friend, and none of this stuff is cheap. So you can imagine. Yeah, I had to pay my friend for driving all the way from home to that Bush Negro village. That's 60 kilometers, 70 kilometers outside the city, on the rugged terrain-like circumstances, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I had to cover all of these things, you name it. It just did not stop expense-wise, but it was worth it. It was still worth it as an investment. So that's it. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions about Alexander? Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions on Alexander or the topic of or subject of money spirits as a whole? If no one has any questions, then yeah, I'm gonna move on. But if you have questions afterwards regarding to any spirit that I discussed, then yeah, sure. In any case, the second spirit that I'm going to discuss is Kali, the Hindu goddess Kali. I have no article on her, only the video, so I need to consult my raw sources for Kali. Hold on for a second. Generally speaking, I'm going to let you know what Kali is about. Long story short, Kali is a Hindu goddess within Hindu mythology or within Hindu culture. She's a pagan goddess. And let me just read a small bit from her Wikipedia page. Just give me a second for the fucking internet to load. Internet is such a piece of shit. Okay, Kali, also known as Kalika or Shayama, sorry, Sanskrit. It's a Hindu goddess. Kali is one of the 10 Mahavidyas, a list with combined Sakta and Buddhist goddesses. Kali's earliest appearance is that of a destroyer of evil forces. She is the most powerful form of Shakti. She is the goddess of one of the four subcategories of the Kula Marga, a category of Tantric Saifism. Over time, she's been worshipped by devotional movements and Tantric sects variously as the divine mother, mother of the universe. Adi Shakti or Adi Parashakti, Shakta Hindu and Tantric sects additionally worship her as the ultimate deity or Brahman. She is also seen as a divine protector and the one who bestows moksha or liberation. Kali is often portrayed standing or dancing on her consort, the Hindu god Shiva, who lies calm and prostrate beneath her. Kali is worshipped by Hindus throughout India. The only reason that I covered Kali, I generally speaking detest Hindus. Not that someone should feel offended by that, but I just don't like Indians in general, so Hindus, and I don't like Eastern pantheons in general. Let's just say that for me it stops at Sumer, okay, the Middle East. But beyond that, nah. I don't like Indian gods and goddesses and all of that. I don't like Hindu culture in general. And it just goes on. Here is the wiki page on Kali for anyone that wants to read up on her and see that beautiful image of her standing over the god that was mentioned, Vishnu, I think, while holding her head, and she has sickles and she's all in blue, blah, blah, blah. She reminds me a bit uh, of one of the X-Men figures that was loyal to Magneto in the X-Men. I forgot what her name was called. Uh, yeah, a code 919 says Shiva. Sorry, not Vishnu. Shiva. She was standing over Shiva, I think, or he means that he either means that or he simply means that that Kali bears a striking resemblance to Shiva or Shiva, whatever. Mystique. Nah, Mystique is the one that I'm thinking about. Mystique from the X-Men. That's whom Kali reminds me of. In any case, in any case, yeah, Eric Anderson also says Mystique. Code 919 says she is Parvati in another avatar. She is the wife of Shiva. Sebonia says Kali can help you get money. She appears to be very chaotic. You'll hear that in a second. In any case, yeah, Kali is a lunar spirit, okay? She corresponds to 4 degrees in Cancer. Now you guys have a general idea on who Kali is. That 4 degrees stands for being gentle, to be honest. So that might seem ironic in contrast to Kali's appearance, but don't let the appearance fool you, okay? That's simply a first impression. In reality, Kali is very calm and cool and does not behave aggressively unless she is prompted to do so, as she says. Generally speaking, you can simply talk to Kali, you can discuss matters with her, and she's completely calm and cool and everything. So yes, Kali does offer money. Kali can help you with money. Hold on, let me read my raw material. What does Kali offer? Kali offers money through communication or communicative and work. Communication means or communicative means and work primarily, as well as occult power, specifically fortitude and mental strength or endurance, but at the cost of minor or mild misfortune. Balances work life too, harmony on the working scene. That's what Kali offers. Now you've heard it. So yeah, Kali does offer money specifically. Code 919 is asking me what Kali looks like in her astral form. In her astral form, Kali simply looks like an Indian woman with long hair, but she's a bit chubby. She is wearing kind of like an indigenous dress made up of leaves, and her breasts are covered by kind of like coconuts, you know, the typical, she looks like a Hawaiian woman, you know how Hawaiian women dress, those women that perform shows and whatnot in Hawaii. That's what Kali appears as, and she has two sickles in her hand, and her tongue hangs out, and her mouth looks kind of like vampiric since she has vampiric like teeth. That's what Kali looks like. Even now, she's with us. For the rest, nothing else. In any case, that's how Kali can help you relating to money. Does anyone have any questions regarding Kali? Of course, that's not the only thing that Kali can offer, but yes, she can help you with money. Kali is good for money. Questions relating to Kali? I must point out too, like I pointed out in the past, that the only reason I discuss Kali is because she's the only Hindu goddess or Hindu deity that appeals to me, since I have a fondness or an affinity for destructive spirits. So yeah, Kali appeared to me when I first saw her, that painting on her. So I was like, okay, I like this one. I like this woman. I like this bitch. The container and contents has joined us. Hey Morino, I've been traveling and watching your streams after they are live. Can you do a stream covering celestials, all angels, especially seeing as they are your favorite to work with? I think I've done that before, but not specifically angels. But I know what you mean. I'll think about it at least. We'll see. Okay. Does anyone have questions on Kali? Mahakali. Code 919 says you seem attracted to destructive spirits. Duh. That's what I've been saying. I've said that repeatedly in multiple streams, as well as in the past. Dorjo was asking me this one scry into her yantra to get to know her. What do you mean exactly by yantra? You mean similar to a seal, right? Yeah, I know what a yantra is. Okay. No, not specifically. Other people are saying yes. Dorso is saying yes, and Code 919 says yantra is a tool to connect to her. Again, not specifically. Okay, she says not really necessary. Other than that, any other questions on Kali? Nothing? Nada? Zip? Okay, I'm gonna move on then. Moving on to the third spirit that I have in my money section, Egen. Beautiful, beautiful Egen. The spirit Egen is spelled E-G-Y-N. Hold on, I also don't only have a video on Egen, nothing else, so I am going to have to consult my raw material. Hold on for a second. Okay, before I continue, let me first start off by uh, stating where Egen is from. Okay, just a general snippet from any website that you look upon. Screw it. No, I need to look up the Goetia. Hold on for a second. Where are you, Goetia? Open up, Goetia. Open up, open up, open up. Egen, there's not a lot said about Egen. There is simply one point here. About the four kings. The four kings are mentioned in the Goetia. The 72 spirits that are mentioned in the Goetia are ruled under one of these four kings. And it said these four kings are usually called Oriens or Urians, Paimon or Paimonia, Ariton or Egen, and Amaimon or Amaimon. By the rabbins, they're frequently entitled Samael, Azazel, Azael, and Maharazal. So yeah, Egen is in any case one of the four kings that is mentioned in the Goetia. And from the internet, generally speaking, from other sources too, I'm going to read from for you guys. David B says, hey Moreno, hello David B. Quick break, code 919 says, is asking what Kali's presence feels like, nothing special, just a general spirit, no offense meant to her. Curtis Strother says, I'm not sure on what the topic is per se, but how does one receive direction or guidance from God? I feel as though he wants me to rely on him to guide me, yet I have no way to hear from him. Go all the way up top and then you'll see what the topic is about, okay? Since you just came online, go all the way up top into the chat bar and then you'll see what the topic is about, or read the description of this live stream. Yeah, Egen. from this source, just Grimoire Encyclopedia, that I am going to link in the chat bar right now. I will be reciting from it. Aegon. Aegon is one of the four demon kings associated with the cardinal directions, along with Amaimon, Oriens, and Paimon. Aegon is associated with the direction north. From the Book of Oberon, the Dan Harms edition, Aegon Rex is of the north and appeareth in the name likeness of a man, and his face is very clear. His nostrils are very sharpy like a sword, and out of his mouth cometh flames of fire, and he rideth upon a dragon, is crowned with a crown of precious stones, in his cheeks he beareth two tusks. And it just goes on, blah 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 blah, regarding appearance, some kind of monstrous appearance. He teacheth perfectly all psychic and singing, and the art notaria, the art of negromancy, and the art memoratuia, and he speaketh of 69 in diverse parts of the world, and things to come, past and present. And it just goes on, okay, blah blah blah. Just a basic thing on Aegon. Just a basic information on Aegon. Caribbean Grimoire says greetings, new one. Faye Park Dog says Shem Hamfara says 72 angels as well. Yes, I know. In any case, Aegon is in the final draft of spirits that I'm working with. I've worked with Aegon for quite some time now. This article was released when November last year. I started working with Aegon since then. So I've been working with Aegon for well over 8 months at least. It seems shorter almost, but no, it has been longer. And Aegon is one of the final spirits that I work with. So I work with Aegon by default. He's one of my financial boosters. Relating to the whole Four Kings thing, you can take that with a grain of salt. Okay, Aegon also says so. He's not saying that it's not true, but it's true partially. But since I'm not interested so much in that, he's not going to go into that. He just knows that I rely on results and what he can offer me. Before I continue, in terms of appearance, Aegon appears as a normal angel, just a generic looking angel with beautiful blonde hair or black hair or hair that's subject to color change, and wears a normal white robe with a sash of a different color. A red sash, generally speaking, can also be black, you name it. Aegon carries two short swords with him that are made up of gold. And that's what Aegon looks like. Aegon has a pleasant, nice voice, and every now and then, Aegon also has a shadow of a monster, but he's not the only spirit, to be honest. Kind of like a huge, monstrous-like creature that he displays briefly, only brief. But the rest, Aegon is flexible. My man Aegon does just fine. Now on to what Aegon can offer. Aegon is mercurial, corresponds to 6 degrees in Virgo. Let me look up what that 6 degrees in Virgo means. 6 degrees in Virgo. 6 degrees for Virgo stands for a contained character or having a contained character. Basically, general description says a self-sufficient person with his own ideas and a deep thinker capable of regeneration. So Aegon is more of the timid, deep, strong, silent type that is of an intellectual nature, which is all true. The container and content says on a plane taking off, watch this when I land. Yeah, sure, knock yourself out. In any case, I repeat, Aegon is mercurial, corresponds to 6 degrees, and Virgo stands for containment, which is true because Aegon is, generally speaking, quiet. He only speaks when absolutely necessary in general. For the rest, in terms of what Aegon offers, like I said, Aegon offers money. But of course, Aegon also focuses on his own interest. Hold on for a second. Yeah, Aegon offers money, financial prosperity. That's not all he offers, of course. But Aegon, in doing so, does focus on his own well-being and interests. I'm not saying Aegon will screw you over, but he also needs to look out for his own well-being after all, the same way that all of us do. For the rest, let me check, double check. Yeah, for the rest, Aegon has a strong Sagittarian influence too, despite the fact that he's mercurial. So he offers things in abundance. and he can help with general clairvoyant matters or anything that you can think of. Okay, but aside from that, Egen also offers some money from all areas possible. That is pretty much it on Egen. Does anyone have any questions on Egen? Caribbean Grimoire says, I'm just catching this video. What about Clowneck? We might get to Clowneck later on. We'll see. I have an article on Clowneck. You're more than welcome to read it. Does anyone have any questions on Egen? If not, we're going to move on. Code 919, how do you see people practicing the occult in future generations since most of the spirits are demonized and misinterpreted in movies and so on? Well, that's not really on topic, but I'll answer it anyways. I have no idea because I'm not thinking about anything like that. Okay, how people practice the occult in the future is their problem. People that are worthy, people that are serious will find their way and make it work for them. Okay, so no one has any questions on Egen. Fine, I'll be moving along then. The other spirit that I'll be discussing, or the next spirit that I'll be discussing for money, is Beelzebub. Beelzebub, in short, is a former Philistine god, or a god that was worshipped by the Philistines, and has been demonized by Christians. I already discussed Beelzebub in detail, or Baalzebul as he's called. So I'm not gonna, in a previous live stream, my previous live streams on pagan gods. So I'm not gonna do that now. I am therefore going to focus on the money aspect of Beelzebub, what he can do for you money wise. David B says, how many spirits have you covered so far on stream? I'm not keeping track, so I have no idea. So far on this stream, I think I've covered 3 spirits or 4 spirits. Alexander, Kali, and Egen, so 3 spirits. And Beelzebub or Beelzebul or Baalzebul is the 4th. K Park Dog says, code 919, angels have free will as we can become angels ourselves like our ancestors. Not all angels are good. No. Code 919, K Park Dog is wrong. Okay. There is no such thing as free will. Even the angels do not have free will. None of us do. Nothing in existence has free will except God himself. So yeah, you can only become an angel through God's divine grace if God sees it fit. For the rest, you can forget about it. In any case, what Beelzebub can offer. Beelzebub, for starters, is mercurial. He corresponds to 24 degrees in Gemini. That 24 degrees in Gemini standing for, hold on for a second. 24 degrees in Gemini standing for someone that is studious, sorry. So someone that's serious and scientifically inclined. Okay, in terms of what Beelzebub has to offer, like I said, Beelzebub offers money. He offers wealth, mastering scientific and occult sciences. When it comes specifically to wealth, Beelzebub is quite a skilled one in offering wealth, and he'll simply offer wealth in a lunar way or in a lunar-like fashion via every possible resource available, simply put. Simple and straightforward, but yes, Beelzebub has tremendous financial potential, very good financial potential. So yeah, anyone that wants to work with Beelzebub, sorry, is more than welcome. He also does not prefer the bill. He prefers the bub at the end, so the B instead of the L. The L is pretty much a derivative or a false way of pronouncing his name. Astral Soul 119 says, have you ever astral projected to another planet? For people that are joining this live stream, okay, check the topic, okay, all the way up top in the chat box. We're discussing money spirits, so check the description. It clearly says money spirits, discussing money spirits. So I'm not going to discuss other things. Okay, I'm just going to copy paste I'm just gonna copy paste the thingy, what I said in the beginning. Stream is about money spirits, so keep things on topic in general. Code 919 is asking me how I know these spirits with exact degrees in the chart. What do you mean how I know these spirits with exact degrees? You already asked me this question 2 times, I think, in previous live streams. I have my own research that I do. David B says, how do you determine that the money spirit won't go to the extremes, i.e. burning your house so you get insurance money? That all depends, okay? You need to perform divinatory readings, and those divinatory readings will give you a general idea on how the spirit will go to work. Anyone have any questions about Beelzebub? Beelzebub. If no one has any questions about Beelzebub, we're going to move on to the next thing. Eric Anderson is asking me how good is Lucifer for money. We'll get to that potentially or possibly. We'll see. Okay, I'll be continuing to Oriens from my own article. I'll be discussing the spirit named Oriens from several grimoires, but most well known from the Goetia as king who rules over the east. Oriens is a fallen angel, corresponds to 1 degree in Scorpio, so he's Martian. He rules over a good portion of the Qliphoth Samael, the dark side of Mars. He used to belong to the Seraphim order. Appearance as a scaly demon with normal or black flames and reddish-orange wings. Oriens has a higher rank than Adramalek, despite the latter being dubbed the ruler, only from a pagan perspective. So yeah, that is in any case who Oriens is. People that are familiar with the Goetia are also familiar with Oriens. What in terms of what Oriens can do, Orien offers money like no other, of course, and yeah, he simply offers money from all perspectives, you name it. His specialty by far is money, due to the strong Scorpio traits, and Scorpio is money is one of the things that Scorpio stands for, but specifically money from third parties. So we're talking about money via insurance means, money via companies, money via inheritances and whatnot. These are examples. In any case, money that comes from other parties via bank means, you name it. That is what Orien specializes in and how he'll go to work. Anyone have any questions on Oriens? K-Paradox says Beelzebub's name is in a lot of songs, mostly rock songs. Yes, the most common known demons that you might look up are mentioned in heavy metal and rock songs, you name it. Asmodeus too, you name it, okay? Because these people simply don't know any better. These spirits just sound evil to them and they just go with it. But not that there's any merit to it in general. Again, does anyone have any questions on Oriens? No one has questions on Oriens? Okay, if no one has questions on Oriens, then I'm going to continue. An angel that I myself discovered, Miraqua. I wrote a reminder of myself a good while ago referring to an angel by the name of Miraqua that approached me and offered his services. Now it has been the case that my Vice Lord Sandalphon has appointed him as the booster aside from Belial. Miraqua is lunar, like I mentioned, and deals with money. He has done well so far and appears as a tall angel similar to Raziel. They have a lot in common. He works in a subtle way and yet brings under my Vice Lord good results, but I'm sure that this is the case in general. Enough inquiries and customers and so on. See his altar and below video and related. Miraqua is a lunar angel, corresponds to 19 degrees in Cancer, stands for dilettante. So someone who works with someone who moves situations and move things around. Miraqua does restrict himself, no depending. He wants someone to prove himself worthy of his help, and then he'll open up the floodgates, if you will. In terms of appearance, Miraqua appears as a tall angel, 2.5 meters approximately, with beautiful blonde hair that's generally blonde and and is wearing a pink robe in general, hence the color of his wallpaper being pink. That is his seal. It's a mixture of Mercury and the moon because he also works in a mercurial way. He has Capricornian influences pretty much. That's where the restriction comes into play. Okay, Capricorn, generally speaking, also deals with restrictions, but depends on the situation. And yeah, that's how Miraqua can help you. Lunar spirits in general, or lunar angels, when they work in terms of money, they move situations around and change situations to your benefit, of course, financial benefit. That's how Miraqua works. And how I obtain Miraqua is simply that he approached me an evening at night time, and he had an interest in working with me, and I simply said, I'm going to document you somewhere. I'm going to write down your name and your attributes somewhere, and I'm going to keep you in mind in case I ever need you, because I didn't need him back when he got acquainted, back when he approached me. K Park Dog is asking me whether I can spell that name. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm not just gonna spell it. I am going to share the article with you. Hold on for a second. That is the link as well as his name. There you go in the chat bar. Miraqua, Miraqua. Eric Anderson says, I like Miraqua. Victor G says, hello, I just joined. Should all questions be money related? Yes, like I said. Zebunia says, in working with spirits to ask them for money or anything for that matter, do they ever counteract each other, or can you make them work harmoniously together? The latter, I can make them work harmoniously together. Does anyone have any questions on Miraqua? No one has questions on Miraqua? Okay, moving on then to Focalor. I'll be covering the Guarec spirit Focalor. His description is as follows. The 41st spirit is Focalor or Forcalor or Furcalor. He is a mighty duke and strong. He appeared in the form of a man with a griffin's wings. His office is to slay men and to drown them in the waters and to overthrow ships of war, for he had power over both wind and seas. But he will not hurt any man or thing if he be commanded to the contrary by the exorcist. See the video below for information. So I need to check my raw material as usual. Let me see, but I can tell you right now that it's bullshit. Let me see. Focalor is mercurial, corresponds to 4 degrees in Virgo, stands for unimaginative. He specializes in work-related matters, but at the cost of everyday turbulence, and will make one overreach oneself. Appearance is a transparent person with an animal's head, a wolf, a lion, a canine-ish, you name it. He appears almost like Pink Panther, but a transparent panther instead of Pink Panther. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so wealth will come via career means. So Focalor, generally speaking, works via career means, money through work. Okay, there you go. Anyone have questions about Focalor? Focalor is the 41st spirit mentioned in the Goetia, and it said that he has more Martian traits. He's capable of causing war and killing people and all of that crap, which is pure bullshit because his mercurial corresponds to Virgo. Again, does anyone have any questions about Focalor? No one has questions on Focalor. Okay, moving on. Scirlin, spelled Scirlin. I'll be covering one of the demons mentioned in the Grimorium Verum today called Scirlin. He is said to be one in this book to contact before being able to deal with the others, more or less. This is the case. As with most grimoires, only within the grimoire and not in general. Scirlin is Jupiterian, corresponds to 25 degrees in Sagittarius, stands for Forerunner, and excels at wealth, material prosperity, and long distance communication. He appears as a short gnome-like creature, green and all, with an orc's head. There are, generally speaking, no drawbacks to working with him, as is not the case with demons in general. The seal is the header image given to me by him. One could also do a self-made seal, but this one is obviously better. So yeah, Skirlin. Skirlin, there you go. That's how his name is pronounced. And that is the link to the article. Does anyone have any questions on Skurlin? No one has questions on Skurlin. Okay. Moving on then. Moving on then. Hold on for a second. Yeah. Faleh. I'll be covering the quote-unquote Martian spirit from the Arbatel Grimoire today, Faleh. He's set to govern warlike affairs and can raise one up to great heights therein. Wrong. Faleh is lunar, corresponds to 2 degrees in Cancer, and stands for the aspect clingy, and specializes in wealth. This is what he has to offer to the average person. And the only drawback in working with him is that your occult work with him might be exposed to the world or with others involved in the process. Appearance is that of a specter hovering in the air in general, engulfed in blue flames. That's what Faleh looks like, and that's what Faleh specializes in. Faleh is from the Arbatel Grimoire. I repeat, he is lunar, corresponds to 2 degrees in Cancer, and specialty is wealth. That's. I also remember someone that commented on my YouTube videos, and she is very content and satisfied with the fact that Faleh helped her with a lot of money. Faleh gave her, or Faleh saw to it that she received $6,000 or someone in the US. So yeah, anyone have any questions thus far? We're gonna take a quick break of a couple of minutes, and after that continue a break of 5 minutes, just to catch your breath so that I can catch my breath too, so to speak. Since I've covered plenty of spirits all the way up to this point. So does anyone have any questions on any spirit that I've discussed thus far? I finished up with Faleh. So far, I've done I've done quite a number of spirits, including I've done quite a number of spirits. Okay, close to, I think, if I had to make a guess, I'd say I've discussed six spirits at least up to this point. More, 8 spirits, but let's just say at the minimum of six, a minimum of six. So yeah, does anyone have any questions relating to Faleh or any of the other spirits that I discussed? Faleh is from the Arbatel Grimoire, Skurlin is from the Grimorium Verum, and Miraqua simply approached me. Miraqua is miscellaneous. He's a freelancer, he says jokingly. Anyone have any questions on them? On any of them? Dr. Jesus, which would you recommend for fast results? It all depends. You can choose from any of them. If you want results as quickly as possible, then be warned that generally speaking, the results won't be severe or they won't be heavy in terms of measurement. So a spirit that works fast won't bring in a lot of money, generally speaking. So we'll see. But I can't recommend one specifically. It all depends on the circumstances in your life and whatnot. More than a couple of these that I've mentioned are lunar. Faleh and Miraqua are lunar. Yeah, the rest is either Jupiterian or otherwise. Yeah, Oriens is the only one that's Martian as far as I can tell. Aegean is also Jupiterian, you name it. So the majority of them are either Jupiterian or lunar. So yeah. Again, thoughts on any of the spirits that I've discussed up to this point? Nothing. Nada. Zip. Okay. I'm gonna move on then. Victor G says, well, I can generate money, but I mean, if I need the situation to be improved quickly and not count on long-term investment, since I probably won't need a demon for such. Again, I can't recommend a specific one. It all depends. I'm not speaking about winning the lottery or things like that. No, okay, I would strongly also advise you to not do so because, for obvious reasons, good luck trying to win the lottery. Like that's gonna work out. Bad chance of that happening. Okay, I'm gonna continue now. Amy, I'll be discussing the Goetic spirit number 58 today, named Amy or Avnas. His description is below. The 58th spirit is Amy or Avnas. He is a great president and appeared at first in the form of a flaming fire, but after a while he put it on the shape of a man. His office is to make one wonderfully knowing in astrology and all the liberal sciences. He giveth good familiars and can be great treasure that is kept by spirits. Amy S. Saturnian, 6 degrees in Aquarius, stands for militancy and can aid one in all matters above, but is moderately good at best regarding treasure finding. Aside from that, he can aid in all manners put before him in general as well as clairvoyance. He's good for money too. Appearance is as written, but with me appears as a transparent being hovering in the air, sometimes ignited in flames, red or blue color, with feminine features, e.g. ponytail. I was planning on working with Amy 3 years ago for astrological purposes, but passed since there were better alternatives and it didn't enjoy priority. An experience on him can be read here, but I don't know if it's true. It amused me somewhat, seems not so credible. So yeah, in any case, money is not Amy's specialty, but he is still good for money. This is the link to the article on Amy. I'll hear it if anyone has any questions relating to Amy. In the meanwhile, I'm going to continue since there seem to be little to no questions. I'm going to continue with Barbatos. I'll be covering the Goetic spirit Barbatos in this installment. Below his description, the 8th spirit is Barbatos. He's a great duke and appeared when the sun is in Sagittarius with 4 noble kings and their companies of great troops. He giveth understanding of the singing of birds and of the voices of other creatures, such as the barking of dogs. He breaketh the hidden treasures open that have been laid by the enchantments of magicians. He is of the order of virtues, of which some part he retaineth still, and he knoweth all things past and that come, and conciliated friends and those that be in power. Barbatos is a lunar spirit, corresponds to Cancer, 5 degrees in Cancer, stands for acquisition or acquire, and specializes in leading others to treasures. The other skills attributed to him are not what he excels at, although he does offer some help in those departments as a lunar spirit. This is unsurprising since most lunars have related skills, examples being Agares and Cain. Like Cain, Barbatos will not give away riches easily and restrict himself unless you have given him enough to prove that you're worthy of millions, for example. The rest is seemingly true, although I didn't confirm this. This is what he told me. The whole part about him being from the order of virtues and all, the angelic order of virtues. The appearance is that of a woodsman or archer in green or blue apparel with blonde hair. See featured image. His seal is below. So yeah, that's it on Barbatos. Barbatos is another lunar spirit. The Barbatos is another lunar spirit, and Barbatos specializes in treasure hunting. And based on his correspondence, he is quite skilled at that. I've placed the link to the article in the chat bar. Excuse me. So yeah, that's it in any case on Barbatos. That's how he appears, just as an archer, a medieval archer dressed in green. Is also prone to color change, can be black or blue, it's blonde, kind of like a Robin Hood kind of archer. So yeah, that is it on Barbatos. That's what Barbatos specializes in. Barbatos or Barbatos. I prefer to say Barbatos. So that is it on Barbatos. Does anyone have any questions? Any other questions? Any questions relating to Barbatos or anything else? So yeah, if there are any questions, then let me know. No one has any questions on Barbatos or any questions in general. Dorso says, is the green arrow based on him? You could say that. The green arrow is just an invention, but it's not literally based on Barbatos, no. Okay, I'm going to move on. And for now, I'm going to discuss the last spirit. This is going to be a short live stream, I think. And I'll continue either some other time or something similar. I will continue with, I think, the most interesting or the most favorite spirit for any greedy person or any person that's looking for money to work with, mammon. Most people have heard of mammon as it's mentioned in the New Testament. You cannot serve both God and mammon. He is the personification of material greed and wealth, and I'll be covering him here. A short piece from Wikipedia. Mammon in the New Testament of the Bible is commonly thought to mean money, material wealth, or any entity that promises wealth and is associated with the greedy pursuit of gain. The Gospels of Luke and of Matthew both quote Jesus using the word and a phrase often rendered in English as you cannot serve both God and mammon. In the Middle Ages, it was often personified as a deity and sometimes included in the seven princes of hell. Mammon in Hebrew means money, mamo. Mammon is Venusian, corresponds to 0 degrees in Libra, and excels indeed at money and financial matters. Nothing else is specialty. One can really count on him, generally speaking, since he is eager to aid. There is nothing else really to say about him. Appearance reminds me somewhat of Lucifer. He appears as a huge, naked, blonde man and does not talk much. The only difference is that he is not as tall and not as imposing as Lucifer, and he wears a pair of boxer shorts, black boxer shorts, generally speaking. And I could also tell that he is more inanimate. He doesn't. He feels somewhat like an inanimate object, partially, at the very least, partially. It should be noted that we're talking about an egregore or thought form that symbolizes wealth and the evils that tarnish it. Mammon, however, shows no signs of drawbacks in general. It depends more on the aid asker's conditions and circumstances. Lastly, there is no real credible work out there on him as far as I can tell. Nothing but nonsense from wannabe sorcerers that don't know what they're doing. So yeah, that is it. This is the link to the article. Mammon or Mammon. That's it. Anyone have any questions? Anything whatsoever? Mammon is Venusian, corresponds to 0 degrees in Libra. Specialty is money, and Mammon does so like no other, so to speak. Yeah, Mammon is really heavy hitter. So let me know. Are there any questions based on Mammon or this stream overall? In terms of all the spirits that I've discussed.
Esatto, ma di basta ma di diamante.
So yeah, let me know while I wait for questions.
So there's a fella, what's that like the country, so many.
So yeah, anyone have any questions on Mammon or anything else relating to the stream in general? No money spirits, no money spirit questions or anything like that. all of the spirits that I've discussed. I think I've discussed at the very least close to 10 spirits that specialize in money. Mammon is I think pretty much the only Venusian, as far as I can tell, based on all the spirits that I've treated. Venusian spirit that deals with wealth, and he might possibly be the most potent one, since he himself is the personification of money. So Victor G, yeah, I recommend you try Mammon, but just check to see if Mammon will do anything for you. And since I'm done discussing this topic in general, discussing money spirits, then people can also start asking miscellaneous questions now. So yeah, people can ask miscellaneous questions too now, since I'm done with the topic of this stream. So yeah, any question you have whatsoever, not just money related or money spirit related, any question whatsoever is on the table. It's on the table now. Victor G says, thanks, I'll take a look at the articles, okay. And for the rest, no one else has anything else to say. I'm giving people 5 minutes approximately, or a couple of minutes to ask a couple of questions, any question that's on their mind. And I'm going to close off the live stream then if no one has any questions. If no one has any questions, then yeah, no use in continuing. Short stream. The stream has been 60 minutes, so an hour. So we'll see. If no one has any questions, then I'm going to stop for now at least, and that's it. I'll continue maybe with money spirits similar to pagan gods. I'll break it down into parts, and this will be part one simply. Maybe I'll continue either later in the day or tomorrow. And I'll continue, or I'll just leave things the way they are. There are plenty of other spirits that I have not mentioned in terms of specializing in money. Specifically, spirits that I am still working with or engaged in or engaged with. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, if anyone has any questions, Gregory Young is showing his face now. I don't know if you were online since the beginning. Doesn't matter. Do you have an idea why Mammon was mentioned in the Bible as a personification of money? No, not really. But there's no specific reason. Mammon was literally the personification of money. That's simply it. Mammon was money. Period. There was no reason specifically other than that he was the personification and that it was God's will and everything, you name it. But he is the literal personification of money compared to others because he's literally the personification. Mammon in Hebrew means money. I want mammon. I want money. So that's also why I said mammon is, I think, from all the spirits that I've discussed, from a neutral perspective, he is the most potent spirit since he's all about money. That's the only thing that he's about. He's about money, period. That's what Mammon is about, and that's also why he comes off as partially inanimate, because we're not talking about a deity with a personality here. We're talking about an entity that is the personification of an inanimate object, which is money. So the fact that he appears partially inanimate is already a wonder in itself. When talking to Mammon, I can clearly tell that, hey, this guy, it's almost like I'm talking to a tree partially, but that's normal. Mammon is literally just money. That's it. So generally speaking, he would be the best candidate if you wanted to work with someone for money. From a neutral perspective, Mammon, generally speaking, should be able to help anyone with money. Kotab, I'm sorry, Kotabi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Kotabiu Mansaya says, "Hi, I'm new and just got to see this. Is there a sigil for Mammon?" No, but you don't need a sigil. No sigil is required. Just money will be enough if you want to use a sigil. You name it, $100 bill, €100 bill, anything, money. Okay. With his name written on it. You can use that as a seal. That's an improvised seal. No seal even is necessary. long as your intent is specifically to work with Mammon. So yeah, that is it. Gregory says thanks, no problem. Anyone have any questions whatsoever? Any questions whatsoever? Okay. Kotabio Mansaya says, okay, thanks, sure, no problem. Okay, no one seems to have any questions, so I'm giving people I'm seeing a question now. Victor G says, in previous streams, we spoke about the Goetia not being represented appropriately. You mentioned something that was interesting, the hierarchy of the demons, they're not being legit. So my question is that, is it true for all of them, or is that the case for all of them, or don't we just, do we simply not know about the real hierarchy between them? No, it's not true for all of them, okay? Meaning that many other occultists are mentioning the nine kings having a bit more special abilities than the other 63 demons. So, in your opinion, are they equal to all others, or do we really not know what the deal is? They're equal, they're pretty much equal. This is across the board, okay? Some of them might be in charge, but that does not make them more powerful. The ones that are in charge are by default more powerful. That's why they rule over them, but only that's pretty much the only difference. It's like comparing the CEO of a company, comparing it to yourself. You're an employee at a company. You've got the manager, you've got the CEO, you've got your supervisor. The only difference between all of you, company-wise, is your rank. But for the rest, you're all people capable of carrying out work and committing to work. And it's in that same way, these kings might rule over the others, and so on and so forth. These spirits, since kings doesn't really mean anything, but they're all spirits that can be worked with. So yeah. Dorshu says, what are the risks involved trying to work with infernals without proper training? The risks involved is that infernal spirits, their energy might produce side effects, make you nauseous or similar, or communication might be flimsy, you name it, or there's a higher chance for trying to screw you over, you name it. Victor G says, but meaning do we know who they are by the who is by default more powerful, and or the default? Oh, I'm sorry, God. The def, and are the default ones more powerful than the nine kings, or do we just have to find out by our experience? What I'm sorry. Why is this even relevant? I mean, why? I've already explained that it's not about power. You can work with any spirit. If it was all about power, then everyone would work with celestial spirits because angels rule over demons and everything. Angels are the only ones that would be worked with. So it doesn't even really matter, okay, who by default is more powerful within the context of the Goetia and or otherwise. Victor Jesus, I know you read it wrongly. I'm literally reading what I'm seeing here. But meaning, do we know who are by default more powerful, and are the default more powerful the nine kings, or we just have to find out by our experience? Well, because it's highly accented that the nine kings are more potent than the others in Goetia specifically. Listen, what does that even matter specifically? Why does that even matter? So it doesn't matter, okay? Because it doesn't matter which spirit you work with, results are important. Just because one is more powerful does not mean than the other, does not mean that you'll get better results from that one and that you should just ignore the other one. No. So it doesn't even matter within the context of working with them and gaining results. Does anyone have any other questions? Any other questions whatsoever? I'm gonna close off the live stream in a minute if there are no questions. Victor G says, well, but we don't know what the results will be before we do something. So it matters in a sense that if we decided to search for a powerful entity, it benefit us if we knew who they were. No, that's not the point. Obviously, if that's not the case, then it's not a big issue, as you mentioned, but it's good to know. Dorso says, take care, Morino. Yeah, bye, Dorso. See you later. Now we know what the results will be before we do something. That's why divination is present. And more often than not, you'll see that the average spirit can help you out more than one that's more powerful, depending on what you ask for. So it's no use, okay? Thinking like that is narrow-minded and it simply restricts you. O'Shea Johnson, someone I don't know, as asking how many deities should an intermediate work with? An intermediary, I'm assuming. That all depends on your own intuition. Your own intuition will tell you how much spirit you can handle, but I'd suggest as a beginner, just one. Okay. One more minute and then I'm done. One more minute and then I am done. So let me know. Victor G says, yes, I agree that it's restricting, but as you mentioned about the Greek entities are less powerful than other pantheons, the same logic is applied to Goetia and the kings. Code 919 says goodbye, Morino. Gregorian says thanks for the live stream. Code 919 says too. No problem. Victor G says if you follow my thought. Again, like I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is stronger than who. That doesn't mean that you'll get better results. O'Shea Johnson says I'm working with about 15 or so far, invoked about 7 multiple times. Okay, knock yourself out. Your choice, your thoughts on King Paimon. I discussed King Paimon in yesterday's live stream. So yeah, I'm not going to discuss him again. I already have an article on Paimon. Just look for Paimon on my YouTube channel or on my website. And that is it. And it's just Paimon, not King Paimon. Okay, that is it. Dorso says, how does one go about taking a break from spirits or stop working with them? O'Shea Johnson says, I'll watch that live stream. Thank you. How does one go about taking a break from spirits or stop working with them? O'Shea Johnson, yeah, sure, no problem. Be sure to watch it. You can stop working with spirits anytime. Just don't host rituals for them anymore. But I will warn you that if you stop hosting rituals, then all the results that came along with those rituals will also automatically evaporate. It's like going to work and getting paid. If you stop going to work, then you'll stop getting paid. It's that simple. Code 919 loves counting down. Victor G says, well, okay, even if the results are not guaranteed, there is some point of having a hierarchy. Yes, that's normal. Everything has a hierarchy in this world, so that's normal. And it's not total BS from the start. Okay, it's not bullshit from the start. The hierarchy goes all the way to God, and vice versa from God, it goes all the way downwards. So it's normal that there's a hierarchy present, but that does not necessarily mean that the powerful ones will be able to help you out better than the other ones. Now, example, for example, is that Samael For example, is that Samael he rules over spirits, numerous spirits that deal with wealth, but he himself does not specialize in wealth. So if you were to petition him as well as another spirit for wealth, the spirit that specialized in wealth will do better than him, obviously. Um, O'Shea Johnson says, "How do you know you're communing with your higher self?" What do you mean? How do you know you're communing with your higher self? Read my article if you want to know, or my YouTube video on the higher self, if you want to know what the higher self specifically is. Victor G says, well, okay, that makes more sense, but does that mean that the 9 kings are actually kings above the other 63 poetic demons? No, just disregard all the bullshit titles. Fuck kings, fuck dukes, fuck all of it. There are no such things as kings and all of that crap, man. That's just nonsense that was written by the writer of the Goetia. There weren't even titles like that back then. Those are titles that are bestowed upon human beings, not upon spirits. Okay, 20 more seconds. Code 919, you can start counting down from 20 now instead of what you did previously. O'Shea Johnson says, Klonek told me people have titles in the astral realm, that's why they're there. No, they do not. Victor G says, well, okay, if you're quitting, I'll stop with the questions for now. Thank you for streaming again. Yeah, sure, no problem, okay. You can ask any other questions, okay. Like I said, I'm only going to stop when people stop asking questions. If I don't see any questions for a long extended amount of time, then I'm not just going to stand in front of the camera like an idiot. So you have questions, then just continue. But if you don't have any questions, then yeah, I'm going to stop. Victor G says, well, I keep grinding on the hierarchy stuff, but you don't seem to fancy it much as a topic. No, I don't mind that, but I just told you that it's all bullshit. Okay. Hierarchy does not matter in terms of results. Even if you want to approach it from a thingy perspective, from just an armchair or theoretical perspective, you just want to know who is in charge and whatnot. Then you'd have to work with these entities, approach them, talk to them, and ask them, and confirm what they're saying. And then you'd become the wiser hierarchy-wise. And as usual, again, the average person does not seem to be able to look past the bullshit of titles and whatnot in the Goetia and otherwise. Okay. If titles actually existed like in that way, then the archangels would be called supreme rulers or the supreme kings and all of that crap. But nope, none of these titles even matter. Archangels do not have titles other than archangel, because that's what they are. So yeah, the whole king and all that crap is thingy. It's nothing but nonsense. And O'Shea Johnson, uh, regarding what you said here that Klonek told you people have titles in the astral realm, that's why they're there. He says that no, that's not the case. He didn't tell you that. He says that's just a title that's bestowed upon people during their lifetime, but not that there are titles handed out just like that. We're all one and the same in the astral realm, pretty much, when it comes to being entities, regardless of our position. I just look at titles like energetic signatures, O'Shea Johnson. No, titles don't really matter. Okay, I can also slap some bullshit title. It just goes to show you how stupid people can be, that they'll believe anything. Okay, I can write a book right from now, and I can insert all kinds of crap in it. This book is the supreme ruler or the supreme duke of the fifth quadrant, and blah blah blah. He can cause thunderstorms and whatnot, and idiots are just so gullible to automatically swallow all of that information without even questioning the credibility of it. Victor Jesus, yes, I agree. The titles always seemed weird to me, but I always thought the kings had something more in their abilities than the other now. But I got your point already, so it's cool. No, entities are just entities. What's important is what an entity can do for you in terms of results. If he can't do anything for you, then it doesn't matter what his station is and whatnot. It doesn't matter, at least in the sense of benefiting, being of a benefit to you. So yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, uh, does not matter. I mean, look at Samael. Samael has, even as such a high-ranking angel and as one of the seven that stands before God, he has no other special abilities or any kind of skill other than Martian-related skills. I already asked him a long time ago if he does anything else, and I already confirmed for myself too. No, he does nothing else. Okay, he's just at offense, he's good at offense, defense like no other. He's the best out there, and he has so many spirits underneath him. He has millions at least beneath him, but those are his only skills, so you can't ask him for anything else, otherwise you won't get the results that you're looking for. O'Shea Johnson says, do you treat them like friends? Yes, of course. Better said, I treat them like family. Jason Dunn says very good points about results. Code 919 says, when did you really start questioning and what made you? Code 919 is asking me. When did I really start questioning? I started questioning from the beginning. I'm always someone that asks questions. I'm definitely not someone that swallows everything and just assumes that it's true. Nope. I mean, obviously, when you see that, listen, I would believe it just right off the bat, or I'd be more inclined to believe it if occultists were all stars, if all of them were rich and wealthy and superstars, and they were tremendously skilled at everything, you name it. Then yeah, I'd say, okay, look, since the occult community, since these guys are so well off, then the things that they say and do should be credible, at least up to a certain extent. And then I'd be more inclined to believe the things that occultists say about spirits. But most of them are just talking out of their ass, okay? And that includes grimoires and whatnot. And if you ask them to elaborate, they won't be able to elaborate for you, and they'll just either try to ignore you or similar. So yeah, none of that stuff has any effect on me. Again, only wannabe occultists and newbies and neophytes and the likes. Only those kind of people focus on automatically assume that everything's true. They just look up a spirit in the Guecha and they just go like, okay, let me summon the spirits for money. It says that he's good at money. And if you're not familiar with divinatory readings or similar or anything relating to that, then yeah, you're going to have to work through trial and error. But you will have to, after working with the spirit, you'll have to at least have some semblance of, hey, are you really skilled at money? I already discussed it, and that spirit is not going to say anything because he wants to work. That spirit is not going to say, okay, nah, I'm sorry, I'm unfortunately not skilled in what you're looking for, so bye. That spirit will take what he can get because he wants to become stronger by working or by engaging in work. But if you're someone with enough experience and knowledge like me, then you'll automatically be able to see past the bullshit. So, to a real occultist like myself, the Goetia is just another grimoire filled with spirits. That's all that the Goetia is. And I prefer, honestly, to work via other means. I prefer to work with other spirits that are more practical and more, how should I put it, and or just better choices in terms of proper etiquette. O'Shea Johnson says, how do you get rid of religious programming fully? How do I get rid of it? Nothing. You just need to gain experience on the occult and you need to be serious about it. but you're not going to accomplish anything if you just this doesn't just account for the occult. I mean, are you going to see some article online? This is how people. That's the problem with this whole generation. Okay, people are so fucking stupid nowadays. They don't question anything. That's why it's so easy for fake news to be so heavily circulated. CNN just has to make some kind of fake set and pretend like there's some kind of hurricane storm in Florida, and people automatically believe that, oh my God, there's a storm in Florida going on. At the very least, does not. At the very least, 1% of your brain should question in the sense of that what they're saying. I, for example, if I see one news outlet saying that, hey, something like this happened somewhere, and I'm not gonna believe it. I'll only believe it or come close to believing it if I see multiple covering it. If I see irrefutable proof in the sense of, hey, underground videos being made of people that just film things with their cameras, and I see that things are indeed happening, because it's not one person that's saying it. We've got 100 people saying it, and from all sources, not just one media outlet saying it or two media outlets saying it. Nah, and you should also be able to make out when people are biased. But someone, for example, underground, just an everyday passerby, is highly unlikely to be biased. There's no way that person can be biased if everything that's being filmed is filmed live and in real time and whatnot. Oh, Victor G says, do you have a favorite pantheon? No, I don't have a favorite pantheon. I just love angels because angels are beautiful, they're strongest, they work the most practical, they focus on your well being, not just theirs, they focus on your well being too, and they won't try to screw you over, or they won't make you leave you stranded in deliberately or otherwise. They have the highest levels of success, and they can also transmit the best knowledge to you or with you since they're at the top. Code 919 is asking me what my next live stream topic will be. All pantheons except Hindu gods, LMAO. I don't know what the next topic is going to be. I'm either going to continue with money spirits or some other subject. You name it, we'll see. Goddess of Earth says, hi y'all, I'm not receiving your notifications like I should. I've missed a couple. Did you click the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel? That's the problem if you didn't. And if you did, then blame YouTube. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, does anyone have any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Code 919 says YouTube is suppressing this kind of knowledge from people, so no surprise. Yeah. Thank corrupt YouTube for being a piece of crap and their liberal SJW agenda. But yeah, the occult is a neutral topic, so it shouldn't happen, to be honest. Goddess of Earth says this live stream was about money spirits. Yes, it was. As the description says, discussing money spirits. It was about money spirits. I covered several spirits. I can still name them for you. Hold on for a second. I covered close to 10 spirits, or even passing 10 spirits, around 10 spirits. It's a ballpark. Let me see. Open up fucking website. Open up. Load quicker. Alexander, Kali, Egan, Beelzebub, Oriens, Miraqua, Focalor, Skirlin, Palef, and Amy, and Barbatos. And last but not least, Mamon. Those are all the spirits that I discussed in the live stream. Mamon was the last one. Kotabayo Mansaya says, do you use herbs and money oils to attract money as well? No. Goddess of Earth says, "Oh, great, thanks. I'll definitely rewatch, no problem." Victor G says, by mentioning what you said about angels, was there ever a situation where you were betrayed or screwed over by a demon? No, I wasn't, but I did not like the fact that demons had side effects in the term of progress coming at the cost of misfortune. With demons, it's generally speaking tit for tat, and I just did not like it. In the beginning, I was also more lenient towards infernal spirits and dark spirits and whatnot. But as I gained experience and knowledge, I saw the truth of things. So I saw that angels are the real deal. Most experienced occultists that you'll find out there that can actually produce results will also agree with me in terms of working with angels. Angels are more trustworthy and everything. Oreo says, is it necessary to draw a sigil of an entity or just printing will do? Whatever you give preference to or is easier with you or for you. Goddess of Earth says, the spirits you named, are they mostly pagan? No. No, most of them are fallen, infernal. Code 919 says, if you become friends with fear, you have no fear. I don't know in reference to what that is exactly. I did mention that Goddess of Earth, I did mention that the last spirit I mentioned, Mammon, he is, I think, from compared to all the other spirits that I mentioned or brought up, he is the most potent, or in terms of just gaining money, he is the most practical one since he's a personification of money itself and of material greed. Victor G. He's also the only Venusian, as far as I can tell, that I have mentioned. Not, he's not the only one, but he is the only one that corresponded to Libra, I think. Yeah, all the other ones were different. Victor G says, are fallen angels considered angels in your understandings? For example, Abaddon. Yeah, they're still angels, but they're infernal instead of celestial. Code 919 says, Oreo, it's all about intention, as Mourinho said before. No sigil or picture required until your intention is pure. Yeah, thanks. You mean as long, not until. As long as your intention is pure, as long as your intention is fixed, then yeah, no issues. Okay, so no one has any other questions. No one has any other questions. Oreo says thanks. Code 919 says take rest, Morino. No, I'm not gonna rest. It's 1:49 in my location, so 10 minutes or 11 minutes to 2 p.m. It's in the afternoon, so yeah. Code 919 says goodbye to you too. Think what I'm gonna do after this. I'm gonna enjoy some crab. I'm gonna reheat some crab that I have, spicy crab in soup, and I'm gonna eat that. I love crab. Crab is one of my favorite dishes. Delicious crab. Code 919 says, I never tried crab in my life. You should try it. The meat on the inside is so supple and so delicious once you get past the shell. Delicious. Goddess of Earth says, what you say, you are well off due to the fact of working with all these money spirits. I am well off because of my beloved Vice Lord and Vice Patron Sandalphon. He's the sole reason that I've made it as far as I have. Clonek has also done marvelously well, but that was short term, not long term, due to the side effects. Eric Anderson says, sounds good. LOL, I've got the munchies here. Code 919 says, damn, you're hungry. I won't say you're ridiculously hungry. The only thing I ate since this morning was just a kind of like a Subway bread with with parts of chicken and vegetables, cut up vegetables, I think. Yeah. I had to drop off my laundry today, so yeah, I don't wash my own clothes. I don't do laundry myself. I go to a dry cleaner and I just drop it off there, and I'm supposed to pick it up back. I'm supposed to pick it back up Monday. Homer Simpson is asking what defines a fallen angel. Did they do something wrong before becoming a fallen angel? Not necessarily. God just saw it fit to turn them into fallen angels, and they were denied access or thrown out of heaven, and that's it. They were appointed by him the position of being an infernal angel or being no longer celestial, and that is it, regardless of whether they did something wrong or not. Goddess of Earth is asking me, what is the staple food in your country? What do you mean by staple food? You mean what's eaten in everyday life, what people eat here in everyday life? Rice, vegetables, and meat. So no mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are more for countries with a cold climate. I do like mashed potatoes though, but I haven't eaten it in a while. So yeah, people eat rice here because it's tropical. Rice grows quicker here, along with basic vegetables, leafed as well as non-leaf vegetables, you name it. Eggplants and whatnot. And yeah, and meats. Basic meats here are pork, chicken, beef, etc. Victor Jesus, I know you're leaving, but can you summon the debate between Samael and Clonek in a money-related situation you were telling us about a few streams ago, where Samael had a problem with you working with another entity for money? What do you mean, Samael? And oh, okay. What do you want? You want me to specifically what do you want me to discuss relating to that specifically? It's pretty much dry and cut. It's black and white, thereby meaning that I back in the day, I simply appointed everything to Samael, but I couldn't hear him, so I had to make do for charts for knowing what he thought about the situation, and I started working with Clownat without discussing the matter with him or without telling him that, hey, I'm gonna transfer the whole financial aspect. I'm gonna take that away from you, so you don't have to try getting me money anymore. And I'm gonna transfer that over to Clownat because I need someone that specializes in money, and you don't specialize in money. That's the problem. It's like notifying. It's like not notifying someone. Okay, it's like when I tell you, hey, come by my house later on, and when you come by to my house, you'll see that I'm not home, and I'll if you call me, I'll tell you, hey, I'm sorry, I had another appointment and I had to leave. How would you feel about that? You tell me that, hey, you could have notified me, not make me come all the fucking way over here and thereby strain myself so just so you could not be home. How was the problem resolved? Basically, the problem was resolved simply after he was cool, after he punished me, after he reprimanded me with the whole stomachache thing. Oreo says, can you discuss about the first time you successfully evoked or invoked? Not really. If you want that, then you simply need to consult my website and the very first the very first article that I have published. Clonak says was one of Goddess of Earth says Clonak was one of the first spirits I worked with. He appeared to me as a cool-looking black dude with an afro. LOL. Yeah, that's most likely to appeal to you personally. He says yes. But with me, he showed me simply his truest form, a transparent kind of child thingy, child creature, transparent Casper looking like creature with wings and an aura, orange slash thingy, orange slash olive green. That's his truest form. Most entities from the Grimorium were more like that. That's why Skirlin and Chonta, they're also two spirits, just like Clonek. They also specialize in money. From that grimoire, a lot of the spirits look like that. They look like small thingies. Even the other ones too. They're just as small and they just appear like that. Victor Jesus, oh, so there was a punishment. I didn't remember that from your first story. Yes, there was a punishment. I got a gigantic, during ritual, I got a huge fucking stomach ache. I got a huge stomach cramp that made me sweat all over. Um, Code 919 says, how is your life now since you can financially afford almost everything? How do you feel about your situation? I mean, what do you mean, how do I feel? I feel like I've deserved everything because I deserve everything, and all of my fucking years of hard work and all of that have are paying off. That's what all of the adversity and all of the hard work was about. Period. Um, so yeah, that's it. Goddess of Earth says, what about Lucifer Focal? I heard he's good for money. Have you ever worked with him? I have a video on Lucifer Focal, and I've never worked with him, but I've summoned him. Yeah, he is good for money. Not you heard. He does specialize in money, but he restricts himself. He expects you to give him a lot if you want to get a lot or receive a lot. That is it. So, other questions? I've noticed that people have more miscellaneous questions, and people are unable to bring up questions relating to the actual topic when I stream something topic wise. I find that kind of peculiar. Code 919, how do you stop working with the spirit once you summoned one? You just tell them that you're gonna stop? Yes. When I stopped working with Clonek, I just told them, listen, thanks for everything you did. But I need to do what's best for me, or at the very least, what I think is best for me. And I'm gonna work with someone else. I wish you all the best, and you'll hear from me if I ever need your services again. The same way that you'd say salutations to a normal person. You just tell them, okay. If you were to break up with someone, you just tell them, elaborate and bye, and fine. Clomax says, yeah, sure, likewise, no problem. I'll hear from you if you ever need me. Thanks for everything, bye. And I did summon Clonek afterwards again, but it was one time. I didn't work with them by default. Oreo says, what does an ancient god ask in return for assistance or a pact? Nothing, just offerings, regardless of which spirit you work with. Offerings. Dorso says, how do you destroy their altar, their sigils? You don't destroy it. Why do you use the phrase destroy? You don't destroy their altar, you just clean the altar up and you remove their sigil. You can either just throw it away or burn the sigil or whatever you want to do. But you can still use the altar. Don't throw away an entire altar just because of that. The altar can still be used. You can still clean the altar up, leave all the other stuff on the table that is neutral. Okay, so candle holders, incense holders, all of these things can be left on the altar. Just clean the altar up. It's like having dinner and then cleaning up after yourself. You're going to clean off the dinner table by by cleaning the dishes and putting them away and everything so that the dinner area is neutral again. No one has any other questions. Lil Ray of Pitch Black, I haven't seen her in ages. Is asking me, is it true that alcohol is a popular offering to most entities? Say no. Okay, alcohol can be a proper offering since alcohol conveys cleanliness and whatnot and purity or purification, purifying anything, but no, that's only partially correct. Alcohol is simply a proper offering, but one shouldn't take it as mandatory. That doesn't mean that alcohol should be offered up as that alcohol should be a mandatory offering. So yeah, that's it. Honestly, Lil Ray of Pitch Black, I thought you were dead or something. No offense. I thought you were dead. I thought that you were just KIA, killed in action. Code 919 says LMAO, Lil Ray of Pitch Black says stop it. I'm not going to stop it. Okay. After I didn't hear from you anymore via WhatsApp, I thought, okay, she's either dead or they deported her. One of the two. So yeah, watch your back. That's all I can say. Watch your back, mommy. Doc Corbin says Cashtastic as an offering. Holds high vibration in the West. Cashtastic? What? What do you mean by Cashtastic? Oh, you mean cash? Yes, cash is a good offering. No problem. It doesn't just hold a high vibration in the West, Doc Carbon. Okay, money holds a high vibration everywhere. Okay, one of the most fundamental things you need in society is money. Otherwise, you're dead or you're living under a bridge or whatnot. So yes, cash is good. Okay, the most valuable currencies are also a popular offering of mine. You name it. So euros, GBPs, Great British pounds, American dollar, of course, in highest denominations, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. I have all of those offerings on my vice patron's altar. The Cayman Islands also has a valuable currency. It surpasses the dollar even. For the rest, look to the Middle East. I have a Kuwaiti dinar. I think highest denomination is 20. That's the highest bill they print. One $20 bill in Kuwait is $60 American. Code 919 says people either captured her and she escaped. Yeah, you heard that, mommy? People either captured her and she escaped. Okay, that's the first thing because people either generally speaking only likes black people. So yeah, she must she must try out Latina, or she must have tried out Latina as a delicacy or as, at least as an experiment. And yeah, please tell Code 919 how you escaped from people eater's stomach. Did you cut your way out or something? Oreo says, what's a proper offering for Astaroth? Since Astaroth specializes in literature, a novel would be nice, a new novel regarding a topic that he likes, or just general things. He says money and whatnot, precious metals, you name it. LOL Victor. Oreo says LOL Victor. Victor Jesus, cracking open a cold beer for a demon always works, or a glass of whiskey. The problem is I end up drinking everything I offer afterwards. I'm sure the demons are very grateful. Okay. But no, I don't suggest it. You don't want to turn them into alcoholics. Lil Ray of Pitch Black is rolling her eyes, code 919, the way she usually does with me. I would suggest you focus on losing some weight, Lil Ray of Pitch Black, knowing your fat ass. Code 919 says, what would you do if you have 15 MB a second internet speed? 15 MB a second is a laughter, okay? That's honestly, that's just, I know that I can have, I know that if I were in Europe or in North America, I'd have at least 100. Even 100 is too low for me. I wouldn't do anything. I'm not gonna lie. With the current speed that I have 10 MB download and 3 MB upload, and sometimes it's more. Sometimes I do reach 15. It's a bit unstable, but I'm thinking about giving it up because customer service is horrendous. My provider here is called Digicel. It's an abbreviation of Digital Cellular Network or some shit. And they're present in the entire Caribbean, pretty much. Jamaica, Curacao, the Bahamas. They've covered the entire Caribbean, pretty much. And Suriname was one of the last ones on the list. Do you have any idea how much I pay for this internet speed? 10 MB download, 3 MB upload. That's considered a luxury here. Because the average speed here is 2 MB a second download and just a measly 1 MB upload speed. I pay $378 American dollars just for internet with taxes. So yeah, you can imagine how pissed I am. It's ridiculous. If I were in Europe, I'd have to pay what, $50 or 50 euros for 100 MB. Everything else for the rest works fine. I'm able to download movies and stream in HD and crap like that. But still, I'm not content, of course, because I want more. It's nothing to me. That speed means nothing to me. It does mean something to the vermin here, but not to me. Goddess of Earth says, I worked in Kuwait years ago. Yes, their money is quality. Yes, I know. That's because of the large oil reserves that the Middle East has. So yeah, these Arabs have shitloads upon shitloads of money. These guys, they buy Mercedes Benzes, just crash them for fun. They go off-roading with luxury sport cars and then just leave it there and fuck it, I'll buy you another one. No worries. So I know pretty much not just Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, these are higher than the euro, I think, even, or GBP even. So yeah. Oh, Jason Dunn says, so gold, etc. would be good for solar spirits. Yes, especially gold is good since gold is the metal that corresponds to the sun. I have a list of correspondences in my book. So all the precious metals that correspond to the classical 7 planets. Lil Ray of Pitch Black is still laughing. Sheila says, is offering gold more potent in a money working? In a money working, yes. Okay. In a money working, the more expensive what it is that you offer, the better. And Oreo is laughing. Everybody's cracking up pretty much. So good. The live stream has taken a relaxed turn. So yes, other questiones. Anyone else have other questions? I personally am still in favor of the American dollar. The American dollar seems stable to me globally. I've never taken a shining towards the euro. I don't know, my intuition just told me that it's going to be crap in a couple of decades. The euro is still on top pretty much in the West. But I don't know. The euro just doesn't appeal to me. Another reason is that the money looks a bit like monopoly money with their small bills and whatnot. So I'm still in favor of American dollars. The US dollar is still my primary currency. Code 919 says sends 10 Surinamese dollars for a 7-day Facebook plan. Yeah, 10 Surinamese dollars. The exchange rate, keep in mind, the only reason that the exchange rate is favorable here is because you have a couple of wealthy, let's just say 5 or 10 wealthy businessmen here that control the monopoly. So they work towards stabilizing it. But in reality, it's not nearly as valuable or as easy it might seem converted. $1 equals 7.5 Surinamese dollars and €1 equals 8 Surinamese dollars. It's abbreviated SRD. And yeah, 10 SRD is basically $1.50, so 150, or a euro and a half, just for 7 days Facebook plan. I'm assuming that you went on Digicel's website, right? Yeah. Digicel is my main broadband provider, and they don't even offer broadband services to residential people. They only offer it to corporations. And I told them that I'm an entrepreneur and I'm registered at my local chamber of commerce. I have the sign outside and everything, and I'm on Google Maps. So yeah, I got the green light. But yeah, I'm thinking about quitting. $378 is way too much just for internet. I'll just have to make do with the worthless piece of crap, my backup connection, which is 2 MB a second at another provider and 1 MB upload. It's just too, it's not worth it. That's the problem in this shithole. Okay, people want to take advantage of you financially at every turn. It's like charging, what they do is the equivalent of charging $50 just for a bag of potato chips. Can you imagine that, going into a supermarket or a Walmart or anything and being charged $50 just for an average small bag of potato chips? Just offensive. That's what they do here. So yeah, my connection is, I think, worth $20, and yet I pay 350. So I think I'm gonna call it quits with them. They told me, please think about it. We don't want to lose you as a customer. When I told them, fuck off, I'm stopping. You can keep a month free. We'll call you back after a month, Mr. Ravenberg, so you can we can evaluate then. Blah blah blah. So we'll see. I don't want to sound mean, but I might try to squeeze the life out of them. So we'll see. Okay, if push comes to shove, I'll just stop. Period. Because fuck that. I'm not paying 300 something dollars. I think I'm one of the people that pays the most for internet on a global level. I mean, what I pay is literally a month and a half salary. A local person's salary for a month and a half. Nah. Yes, code 919. I pay 378 American dollars. Can you imagine? Like I said, the average person here makes 250 at most. So I literally pay a month and a half's worth of someone's income here locally just for internet. And that is for 10 MB download, 3 MB upload. And it's not even good quality. It doesn't stay stable or remain stable. It just fluctuates, sometimes downwards to 5 and sometimes to 7. Granted, adversely, I also sometimes get more, 12, 13, only 15 on occasion. But again, it's supposed to be stable. It's supposed to be fucking stable. Victor G says the euro is the most stable in Europe, though, unlike the dollar. Yes, I know, but the way I see it, the European Union is already going to fail, and you guys will have to go back to your francs. I still remember back when I was a kid, you had the Dutch franc, you had the Swiss franc, which is still present, Swiss franc. You had Belgian francs, so you guys might have to go all the way back to that, assuming that the European Union keeps going on that downward spiral that they're on right now. Oreo is asking me whether Astaroth is Astarte. No, I already addressed that yesterday. Listen to yesterday's live stream. Victor G says euro hasn't changed its rate. Its rate is like 8. The euro has not changed. Its rate is in like 89 years, while the dollar varies all the time. Yeah, but nevertheless, okay, I think on a global level, people still choose the dollar over the euro. I don't know why. Again, I just don't, I don't know, the euro just doesn't appeal to me. I like the euro too, but it doesn't appeal to me as much as the dollar. I don't know. I just don't like it. There's something, my intuition tells me that it's unstable or that it's unreliable. Code 919 is asking me, have you thought of traveling to Europe or other countries with a travel visa? They have MiFi. You're talking about Digicel. Traveling to Europe, yes, yes, yes. We'll get into all of that. Okay, believe me, you're in for a pleasant surprise. Eric Anderson asking me what the top offering for Lucifer is. Wealth-related items, since Lucifer is solar. Yes, Thingy has MiFi. Uh, Digicel has a MiFi box, but don't even bother. Okay, it's a piece of crap box. I bought it years ago when I was desperate for internet, and back then Suriname only had one internet provider called Telesur. Telesur, Telesur. It's an abbreviation of Telecommunications Company Suriname. And I obviously need internet, so I I just bought it. I thought to myself, hey, I can buy it. Let me just buy it. But yeah, believe me, download speed is 1 MB. And you have to constantly charge up because it works with a SIM card. You have to top it up with credits. You constantly have to put cell phone credits on that SIM card, and it's impractical. It's good for mobile usage, but not good for broadband usage. We're talking about on a computer or behind the computer. If you watch 3 YouTube videos, then you'll have to recharge your SIM every time with $10. So you can imagine what kind of a steal it is. Eric Anderson is laughing at my Monopoly money comment. So let's be honest, okay? Code 919 says I pay $10 for 10 MB download and upload. That's basically a ripoff. Yes. Victor G says that's horrible, dude. Where I live in Europe, I pay $15 for 100 MB mixed with the TV plan, which I don't even watch. Yes, I know, I know, I know. You think it doesn't hurt me? Do you have any idea how much how agonizing it is? I know. If I, fuck it, when I move to Europe, right? I'm not kidding, okay? I will purchase I think I will most likely purchase the highest fucking bandwidth available. I don't want to hear anything. I want fucking 200 MB, at least 500 MB. And I can easily afford it, relatively speaking. Yeah, a friend of mine is WhatsApping me right now. He's telling me that he can hear me talk about, the local internet prices and whatnot. He was with me when I went to terminate my contract, when I went to Digicel's office. So yeah. Oh, Victor G says, well, the euro is used only in Europe. The dollar is used worldwide. That's basically why. Yeah, exactly. My point exactly. Also, dollar is used in most online transactions. Yeah, again, my point. Code 919 says no other providers besides Digicel. 2,000 gigabytes from Marino. No, like I said, okay, listen, Suriname only has 2 providers. Only 500,000 people live here. People, let's call them people for conversation's sake. The vermin, only 500,000 vermin here, or close to 500,000, or just over 500,000. So um, there are only two telecommunications company, Telesur, like I said, Telesur, Telesur. Just Google Telesur Suriname and you'll find it right away. They're also a piece of crap. If I want, I have a backup internet connection in case my primary Digicel connection falls out. So in case the 10 MB one falls out, I have another one that's only 2 MB or 3 MB, sorry, download and 1 MB upload. And I still for that one, want to know how much I pay? I pay $40 a month for that one. $40 a month for 2 MB download. In Holland, for example, you get 5 MB download for free. That's if you purchase it together with the TV plan that comes with the package and whatnot. You don't even have to have internet. It's just such a sack of shit. Victor G says, well, in general, for online usage, uploading and all things, you don't need more than 100 Mbits. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'd be content I wouldn't even, I'd be content with 50 MB upload speed, but uploading here is a nightmare, okay? How do you think I did back in the day when I uploaded my videos, back when I still uploaded new content video-wise on my YouTube channel? Uploading a single video was like, let's just say 200 MB took at least half an hour. So yeah, it was just Such a sack of shit. But that's the case everywhere here. Okay, everything's a ripoff. Santix has just come online. Hello, Santix Mendes Osis. Everything is a fucking ripoff. Do you want to know how much they asked me to asphalt to have my street asphalted? I did an inquiry because my road is a piece of shit road. Um, I need to show you guys what my road pretty much looks like, but I don't know if that is possible. In any case, my road is a piece of crap dirt road, and someone only made it worse by throwing I don't know, I think grindstones or just the stones you get after demolishing a building. Threw it over the road, and my road isn't even registered on Google Maps. Google Maps doesn't even see it. That's how worthless the road is. And from the closest intersection, there is a three-pronged or T-shaped intersection. So my house, my street leading up to the main road is about 200 meters. So from the nearest intersection to my street is to my house is distance-wise is 200 meters, a little under 200 meters, but let's just round it off to 200 meters. I think 175 or 180 or some shit. And my road is 4 meters broad. Do you want to know how much they asked me? I asked two contractors, okay? One was unknown and the other one is relatively well known within the community because they do mass contracting, construction wise. They build houses too. It's just a well known contracting company here that also bricklayers roads, that places bricklayer roads and pavements and whatnot. Both of them. Do you want to know how much they asked me? Keep in mind, not the entire road. My entire road or street I live in, it's a dead end street, so it ends dead, and it is, I think, 800 meters long. Just for the nearest intersection to my road, 200 meters, and the road is 4 meters broad or 4 meters wide. I asked them how much would it cost to have it asphalted. And when I wasn't content with the answer, I said, okay, how much to have it bricklayer, to just have bricks placed? Both contractors told me to do it 35,000 American dollars. I repeat, 35 fucking thousand American dollars. 35K just to have a tiny sack of shit road thingy. Nah, I don't need to say anything. This kind of crap just makes me angry. Code 919 says Telesur has 45 gigabytes for 549 Surinamese dollars. That's insane. No, that's not true. You're misinterpreting it. That's 45 MB. And that's not 549 thingy. No. You're getting it totally wrong, okay? Telesur code 919 has 5 MB for $60 or $70. That's how shitty he is. Sia Sheila says America is losing its relevance. The dollar is on its way out. Yes, that might be a possibility, but it's going to take a good while still. In any case, if the euro has a higher chance at the moment, the way things are looking to collapse. The EU has the highest chance of collapsing way before the US does. With the US, due to its size, it's going to take a while. So yeah, you guys heard it correctly. I still have it on paper in Dutch. The inquiry for, I need to check my mail. Come on. Keep in mind, from the nearest intersection to my house is 200 meters and the road is 4 meters wide. And to have that small distance asphalted, they asked me 45,000 American dollars, so 45K to have it asphalted, and to have it bricklayered is 35,000. I still have it here. I asked them on January the 14th. Dear Mr. Ravenberg, here is the inquiry for having your street asphalted or bricklayered all the way up to your house. It's all measured in square and cubic meters, and in total. For having it asphalted, it's $35,392,000. And for having it bricklayered is, oh, the bricklayered one is more expensive, $47,025. Victor G says, okay, beyond the fact that those prices are ridiculous and it's obvious that the monopoly, not the game, but the actual one in your country seems very active, they're giving prices which I believe even the richest Muslim princes would deny. Yes, they're full of shit. What did you expect? They're full of shit. Hold on for a second. Oh. Code 919, check it out here in Dutch. Telesur is starting a new project and 10 MB for $30. Currently, it's still at 3 MB. $30 for just 10 MB. So full of shit. Victor G says, okay, it sounds crazy, but it's nice that you can actually afford 370 for internet. But if you couldn't, what's the alternative? Like I said, the alternative, if I choose to give it up, right, then if I choose to give up my internet speed, then I'm just gonna have to do it the backup. The backup is going to be 2 MB a second download and 1 MB a second upload. What I'm used to in this worthless shithole. And even for that one, I pay $40, $40 a month, 40 American dollars. That friend of mine is also a local friend of mine is logged in. He's also listening to this stream. He says your conversation is good, but don't get upset. It's worthless and nothing shithole Suriname. I always send him an emoji of the Surinamese flag with a shit pile right next to it, a smiling shit pile. Such a ripoff. Code 919 says open your own internet company, Moruno. Yes, listen, multiple people have asked me, have told me why I just don't stay here and live like a king, or why I just don't, why I don't invest in here. I don't want to invest in here. Here is not worth investing in. There's no purchasing power here. There ain't shit here. So I don't want to, period. I just do not want to. I don't want to do anything here. I don't want to start or invest in anything here because it's not worth investing in. It's just not worth it. The vermin here does not deserve anything. Okay. Opening up my own internet company, code 919, would not help, okay? Because the market is simply too congested to the point where you feel caught between a rock and a hard place, or stuck between a rock and a hard place. And the local government does not want to pay more than $20 for internet. Even $20 is a stretch for them. So yeah, these prices are unfortunately the basis of commerce. It works with supply and demand. Since there is no demand, because out of the 500,000 vermin here, only 10,000 make use of the internet. So only a 50th of the population, I think. The rest is, yeah, only a 50th. So only 2% of the population makes use of the internet. The rest is too stupid to even know what the internet is, let alone anything else. So yeah, it's supply and demand. Victor G says, nah, man, even if you become a king, please go somewhere else. Yeah, exactly. Okay, make no mistake. Okay, I would much rather surf in heaven than rule in hell. That's what you can compare it to. I am not staying here. Okay, I choose death over staying here. I literally choose dying over staying here. See, Ashila says this, you can't pronounce it correctly. The Suriname, it's not Suriname. It's not Suriname, it's Suriname. Suriname. It's Suriname, not Suriname. Have an abundance of natural resources. The poverty and underdevelopment is a problem. Listen, I saw you comment on my, I saw you comment on one of my videos, right? The third world mentality, that folk. What's that video called again? The third world, the vermin mentality of third world folk. Yeah, and yeah, like most shitholes, it has an abundance of in resources, but those resources don't mean anything because the local population can't exploit those resources. Yeah, Suriname has a lot in the way of natural resources. A lot of gold is here underground, a lot of diamonds, I think, or at least a moderate amount of diamonds. More than your fair share of diamonds here, I'm being told. You name it, okay. A bunch of archaeological treasures are also here, but it doesn't matter. The means of digging these up and mining these are not present. So yeah, population is just pure shit. Victor G says you deserve better standards. Victor G says 2% vermin use internet. What the fuck? Yes, exactly. So there's nothing here. The dumbasses here think that I am just, they think that a credit, let me put it this way, they think that a credit card is only for rich people. The one or two that actually think, that actually know what a credit card is. The rest, the one or two that actually know what a card is, they just lose their minds whenever they see that I have a credit card. Oh, he has a credit card. You must be rich. Can you take care of me? Yeah, that's how stupid they are. They're just so sad. I have a European credit card, a debit card. So yeah, that's what I use for online purchases. And if I want to import something, I need to make use of importing companies. I can't export anything because Suriname is too worthless to even have stuff exported. That's it. Victor G says maybe that's why it's so expensive. No, that's not it, okay? It's just expensive because it works with supply and demand, okay? If the demand is not present, then if the demand isn't present, then neither is the supply going to be. Um, um, and in relation to why my internet speed is so expensive, like I said, the vermin here, they want to become rich by just sitting on their asses. That's how they work here, okay? They offer the most simplest of things and they try to pass it off as being some kind of delicacy. Let me put it this way, they offer you a piece of shit and pretend like it's cotton candy. That's how they work here. They're stupid enough. As long as someone here is stupid enough to buy it, they're going to offer, for example, like I said, a bag of potato chips for $50. That's how dense they are to the point where they actually think that someone is going to buy it or and whatnot. And if you ask them, then what the fuck's wrong with them? They're going to complain and say that, hey, you don't have to buy it if you don't want to, and there's no purchasing power here, so the one or two items that I sell need to be sold at a high price, blah, blah, blah. I understand them because that's true. If there's no purchasing power and someone barely buys anything, then they want to make the most of the one or two things that they buy. But again, as a consumer, it's still a rip-off. Your consumers are simply going to seek consumption somewhere else. Code 919 says, do you see hot girls in Suriname? Moreno? No. 1 in 1,000 girls here are hot. 1 in 1,000 women here are actually good looking to the point where they're fuckable. But the rest, the majority of Suriname's population looks like some kind of failed bestiality experiment. Like they tried to experiment by crossbreeding people with animals, and the population is the result, or the majority thereof. There are hot girls here, but 1 in 1,000. Whenever I see a hot girl, I'm like, oh, look, an actual woman that looks like an actual woman, that doesn't look like some kind of hybrid human animal thing. Victor G says, yeah, good luck making a business with 50% for a bag of chips, even if few people to buy it. Yeah. Like I said, that's the way it works here. That is the way it works here. Everything, even the house that I live in, this house, I pay way too much for it. Okay. Granted, the house has 2 stories and it has 4 bedrooms. I still pay $735. That's 650 euros for it. Can you imagine? 650 euros, right? Is screw it. $735 is let's see. It's 3 times someone's salary here. So I pay on a monthly basis what the average person here makes in 3 months. So yeah. Sheila says the currency in Suriname is like the Nigerian Niara. Everything is so expensive. Yeah. What do you expect? Piece of shit. Even Nigeria is worth more than Suriname. Ghana, Senegal, I think they're worth more than Suriname. They can't possibly be more worthless than Suriname. Code 919 says something shady is going on. Yes. Code 919 says the place you're living in doesn't match the prices. Of course, it does not. Like I said, the majority of people here, right? Suriname is literally a worthless wannabe nation in the sense that the 1% of the population that is actually wealthy just tries to pass themselves off as wealthy, but they're not wealthy. There is a lot of illegal activity going on here. A lot of businesses here are nothing more than smoke screens or fronts for illegal activity. For example, money laundering or drug dealing or similar. So yeah, they have to act. They have to get stuff done. So they do it that way. Someone just tells them, just open up a business. Suriname's worthless. That there are not going to be any checkups or barely any checkups. So no one will be keeping track of your inventory and how much goes in and how much goes out, and how you can make a profit from it. We can use it to launder the money, and we can also find mules there that can work for us. You name it. Blah blah blah. There is a shitload of corrupt and illegal activity taking place here. You've got people in parliament that can't even speak Dutch properly, the official language. It's like a nightmare version of The Simpsons, but a realistic one. The only difference is instead of yellow, the majority is black. So yeah, either black or Indian or Indonesian. Victor Jesus, for that money, you can rent a few good apartments here. I know. But yeah, anyway, we get the picture. Yeah. Sia Sheila says Africa is really getting its act together and Suriname still lags far behind. Yeah, I know. There are also a good deal of Chinese entrepreneurs here. China is investing heavily in Suriname, but I think it's simply their attempt at colonizing Suriname, the same way that they're trying to colonize Africa. Here you have almost every grocery store on every street corner and every supermarket, similar to Walmart or Amazon or Best Buy or Target, is Chinese owned, maintained, and operated. So yeah, also something fishy going on there. I think the Chinese are literally just bringing themselves in masses here, and they're opening businesses as a smokescreen just for illegal activity. And I think the local government is also in on it. The way they see it, there's plenty of room here because I think 80% of Suriname is still jungle or is still covered by a rainforest, a thicker layer of rainforest. And China has a huge overpopulation problem. So I think China made a deal with Suriname in the sense of, hey, listen, we'll lend you $10 million and you don't have to pay us back if we can, drop $1 million in your country. We need to dispose of our vermin. So yeah. And since your country is nothing but vermin pretty much, then yeah. And we drop them there, and this local government, as corrupt as they are, they're just like, yeah, sure, no problem. Hey, fuck it, you can drop 10 million here. We don't care. Because there are a lot of Chinese people here, a lot of them, okay, believe me. And not all of them, but a good deal of them have money. So yeah, something's not right there. It's obvious. Um, Code 919 says Suriname is all about eat, sleep, breathe, shit, and die. Yes. Victor G says, how much work do you think you have to put before you cover the standards for leaving your country for good? It's not about that, okay? Listen, most countries that are better that I want to move to, for example, in Europe or North America or in Asia, the basic Western immigration policies mean that you can go over there, you have to request a visa. Let's just say for conversation's sake, I want to move to the US. They grill me, an immigration officer would sit down with me, ask me in detail what I want to do in the US, why I want to go to the US, and blah, 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 blah. That's just for the visa. I get a visa for a month. Okay, and of course, ICE is on everything, so I can't say, hey, I'm just going to stay there illegally and go underground after my visa has expired. That's not the way I do things. I don't do illegal things. Do things the right way or don't do them at all is my motto. And in any case, I'd have to extend my my 1 month visa to a 3 month visa. And after 3 months, I'd have to apply for a temporary residency permit. I'm just giving you the general take on what immigration is like. After that, I'd have to have my temporary residency permit extended for 3 or 4 times. And after I've stayed in the country for maybe 3 to 5 years, all the while extending these permits, I'd become eligible for a permanent residency permit, or I'd have to apply for one. And after I've been approved for that, and I would become eligible for citizenship, so requesting American citizenship. That's how it all works, okay? So yeah, it's like a 5 year plan. It's not, guys, it's not something, understand that it's almost like climbing Mount Everest. It's for the average person here, for the average Burman here, not doable. You can't move from a place that's worth less than nothing to a place that has value or a high living standard. The money alone is not doable for the average quote unquote person here. And even for me, like I said, it's not about money. It's about all the applications that you need to file and hazy information. So no one tells you where you need to apply exactly. You just need to do a lot of legwork. You need to do a lot of legwork in the sense of, hey, listen, where do I need to apply for this? Where do I need to apply for that? All the while, keeping your head above water and, finding a roof over your head and all of that. Make no mistake, okay? Relocation is not something easy. In my specific situation, it is literally like trying to climb Mount Everest. So that's why it's taking as long as it's taking. That's what you guys need to understand. Besides, I also had to face and or endure complications here with the local airline company because I wasn't allowed to board the flight last year. I was already supposed to be gone from Suriname. I was supposed to be in Europe right now, but yeah, I wasn't allowed to board the flight because someone flagged me as a potential flight risk. I don't know. A local cab driver here made a joke that knows me well, made a joke that they thought that I was from ISIS and that I was going to expand my network in Europe and so on. He was just joking, but yeah, you get the picture. Oh, see, Ashila says Africa is huge and so inviting and just right for conquest, right? Yeah, exactly, my point. And you can have an ancestry visa when you move to the Netherlands, by the way, or is there a time limit? I don't know really, but for the Netherlands, it counts the same thing. The same thing goes, okay? Besides, I don't want to move to the Netherlands, okay, because things are also going downhill in a literally snowball fashion. The Netherlands is also certain Dutch cities are also filled with vermin, either local vermin from here or vermin from other countries. And I don't want to be around when it all comes crashing down. Gregory M says China is on Suriname for the resources. Code 919 says, how much does it cost for extending a visa? And of course, yeah, I forgot that everything costs money. And I remember when I wanted to move to Canada, just applying for a 1 month visa was $100, non-refundable. So it doesn't matter whether your visa gets rejected or not, it is non-refundable. I paid $200 in total. I submitted my visa twice, and the second time it was just rejected for no reason. The first time was because my documents were not in order, and I said, okay, granted, yes, I overlooked that. I'll fix it and I'll get back to you. And the second time it was just like, no, sorry, your visa's been rejected. And of course, I didn't get my $200 back. Not that I wanted it back. Victor G says, well, the US in general has one of the highest immigration requirements somewhere in Europe, or sure, it will be easier. So wait, so that joke was actually binding for the people to make a decision about you being a threat? No, they just I don't know, they were just prejudiced. Okay, it's very complicated. Everyone I tell this story to, including my lawyer, was like had a reaction along the lines of, this is the first time in my entire career that I've heard something like that. Everyone I tell just tells me that it's the first time that they've heard something like that happening. Long story short, they simply found it strange because they've never heard of someone like me, someone local, moving to a specific country whose name I mentioned, and they found it strange that I had so much money with me. You know, they thought, hey, how can a guy in his 30s be so wealthy, have so much money? And it just goes on, okay? And the person that coordinates flights in any case, all flights leaving to and from the Netherlands, the person coordinating all these flights just said, no, I'm sorry, this guy sticks out too much, so we're gonna refuse him entry to board our plane. And yeah, it was nothing from drama for it was nothing but drama from that point out. And it is just, you know, you don't get anything, no oral explanation, no explanation on paper, no written explanation, nothing. They just told me, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to board this flight. Okay, so no reason? No. No oral reason, no reason on paper? No. Okay. See, Ashila says, try moving to Australia or New Zealand, not much vermin there, abundance of South Africans, though. No, 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 no. Australia and New Zealand also have left-leaning governments. So these countries are also on the verge of collapsing. I'm definitely not moving to some liberal shithole or shithole in the making country that that freely accepts refugees and Syrians and all kinds of other vermin that will do nothing but cause havoc because they've just jumped on the liberal bandwagon or the globalist bandwagon. No, 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 no. It's the same thing with the Netherlands, okay? The Netherlands used to be normal. Now the Netherlands, certain Dutch cities are filled with Surinamese people. You've got Indians in The Hague, you've got of Surinamese descent, you've got Moroccans, you've got Turkish people, and yeah, you let me just say that before all of that, you'd never hear anything along the lines of a death threat or bombing in the Netherlands. Now it happens on a regular basis. Someone tries to stab someone else by yelling Allah Akbar. Nothing like okay, stuff like that doesn't surprise me. It's something that I see every day in my Facebook newsfeed, coming from somewhere in Europe. Migrant either beats girl to death or rapes and strangles girl. Some shit, and I'm not having any of it. See, Ashila says Australia has an evil history. Their karma is catching up with them. New Zealand was a great country. They're a tragedy. New Zealand was kind of like a wannabe version of Australia. That's why their flags also look a lot alike. Um, but 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 yeah, New Zealand was also good. New Zealanders were called Kiwis, I remember. But but yeah, New Zealand. I don't know. New Zealand is just also they just decided to jump on that whole liberal bandwagon, and they just decided that they're also going to become worthless. So yeah, that's the reason I didn't leave to any of these countries. Okay, I don't want anything to do with them. That's why I was glad, to be honest, that my visa for Canada was rejected, because Canada was my first choice initially, and the Netherlands the second. After things didn't work out with Canada, in hindsight, I was glad, because I thought to myself, even Canada is already going down the drain in snowball fashion. I mean, Canada is really going down the drain, inviting former ISIS soldiers back, granting them not only asylum, but also reparations, a bunch of shit that Justin Trudeau is doing. And I'm not having any of it, like I said. Code 919 is asking what part of Asia are you trying to leave? What do you mean, what part of Asia? I'm not trying to leave from Asia. I'm not in Asia. And I'm not trying to go to an Asian country myself. I just brought it up for good measure. So yeah. Any other questions? Code 919 says, eat the crab, Morino. Yeah, my crab is waiting for me. But it can wait until no one has any other questions. So yeah, no other questions. It's quiet all of a sudden. No one has any other questions relating to shithole Suriname. No one has any other questions. I yesterday made a joke with a friend of mine, that same friend that's listening to this live stream right now, and he told me, "You've got evil thoughts in your head." I I said that if I'm ever serious in the future, I might just devastate Suriname and recolonize it myself, eradicate the vermin, and start over. Suriname will cease to exist, and I'll found my own nation. I even had a name for the nation and everything, and already an idea for the flag. Under my rulership, nah, Suriname, my country would not be a shithole. My country would reflect my personality, order, and structure and shit. Not worth less than nothingness. 2 hours ago. Stream is 2 hours. Okay, round it off to 2 hours. Okay. And Victor Jesus, you just might have to do that. Yeah, but I'm really brutal, assuming that that you've known me long enough, I'm really brutal. I made jokes. I didn't make jokes. I said it in a jokingly way, but I told them I might have Suriname bombarded with napalm. I literally might bomb Suriname with napalm. Just watch Suriname burn for weeks and flames reach meters high and just bomb and devastate the shit out of Suriname, kill the vermin, and install myself as ruler and only leave the 1 or 2% that's nice looking, and those that according to my own insight deserve to live, leave them alive. The rest will be burnt to crisp, extra crispy. And yeah, it would be like a genocide, Sudanese genocide. And yeah, I would found my own nation, and Suriname would be nothing but a bad memory. Implement myself as the permanent ruler until death. Maybe find a hot woman and have her produce an heir for me. You name it, whatever. But in any case, my country would not look like a shithole. You guys know that. My country would literally reflect my worth as a human being overall. So yeah, that country would be the shit. Okay, I even had a name for it and everything. You name it. I had a flag design for it and everything. And he told me, those thoughts of yours, really lay off those thoughts. Those are evil thoughts. And I told him, if I ever become serious, right, you guys will notice it. Don't be surprised when all of a sudden you see that CNN or any major network is covering me and people interview me, Mr. Ravenberg, why did you commit to such a gruesome act? Why did you bomb the population of Suriname, of your former country or of your own country of birth and everything? Just don't be surprised because it's going to be like Pearl Harbor. I'm going to bomb the shit out of Suriname, potentially. Oh, Code 919 says Suriname becomes Moriname. Victor Jesus, maybe Suriname might not be worth it though. I know, not maybe. The Suriname isn't even worth bombing because it's a waste of the munition. It's an actual waste of the ammunition. You'd have to waste so much napalm. You'd have to waste so much ammunition, and it's not worth it. I don't think even a suicide terrorist would be willing to to you know to commit suicide here, blow himself up here now, just for the cause. I think it'd be something. His reaction would be something akin to, "No, thank you. I actually bombed and sacrificed my life for people, for places of worth, not shitholes." Mm, Eric Anderson says, Crab, say eat me please. Code 919 says install Murino as ruler with 2000 gigabytes a second internet. No, no, I mean, there's no, honestly, like I said, there's no border patrol here. So if you want to enter Suriname illegally, nothing's stopping you. No immigration police here that's going to stop you and ask you, can I see your documents? Can I see your passport? You don't speak Dutch. Are you a foreigner? What's your immigration status? Do you have a visa? No, no one here will be asking you questions. You can take a shit alongside the road. No one will be looking at you. They'll just take a look at you in the sense of, ew, that guy's shitting alongside the road. But that's it. Nothing past that point. Eric Anderson says, all hail new ruler Mourinho. Yes, all hail me. And yeah, I wouldn't mess around, okay? Anyone that I'd be a strong and stern ruler. Anyone that breaks the law under my, just as an example, okay, guys that rape children or a guy that rapes children would get a death sentence. I'd fucking burn the guy alive on live television. I'd have it broadcasted. I'd tell them, no, this is what I do. This is what happens when you do stuff like that. This guy raped two children. Okay, we're gonna burn his ass alive. I want to see nothing but ash remain of his body. That's the kind of ruler I would be. I think the vermin would be terrified of me. I would just, God, people wouldn't even think about committing a crime. They wouldn't even think about it. Under my guise, that would be impossible. Okay, because I would be so, I wouldn't I wouldn't fill prisons with people. No, that's for sure. Why would I waste state income and taxes on prisons and providing accommodations for prisoners when I can just have these guys commit slave labor or forced community service? I mean, a prisoner under me would work his ass off. The guy would be mowing lawns and the guy would be deforesting until his fucking hands would bleed. I'd have him work 12 to 16 hours a day, back-breaking labor. Nah, I would not mess around. God, I would just. Oh, I'm just cold like that, so I can easily do something like that. Okay, I could easily just commit genocide without even breaking a sweat or without even, you know, without even thinking about it twice. I'm just, that's just how cold I am. So even if I say so myself, I have all the skills required, to be such a horrible ruler. Not horrible, but be such a stone cold ruler. No hesitation from me, no nothing, nothing. But yeah, that's most likely never gonna happen because worth less than nothing piece of shit Suriname is not worth it. If Suriname isn't even worth bombing, then I'm not gonna waste the munition on a thing when I can go someplace better and contribute to making there even better, like beautiful beloved Europe. Gregorium says, did you try to move to French Guyana, Cayenne, for example? No. I did request a visa and I did get the visa, but I never went. You can go there for a week, I mean, for a month. You just have to request a visa. And yeah, after that, it's just going to French Guyana. It's that simple. But I don't want to move because French Guyana is also a shithole. So it's literally just exchanging one shithole for another, and I don't want that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope 919 says I take off Digicel first. Even ammunition is not worth spending on Suriname. Yes, I'm not kidding. Even some local parasites know it that hey, Suriname is worth less than nothing. So yeah, worth less than nothing. So yeah, nature is the only thing that's beautiful here. Nature, nature, nature. But even nature has its limits. Okay, the jungle here is the jungle everywhere you go. So it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's all relating to work less than nothing piece of shit. Suriname Oh, we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to get there, but like everything else, things take time. Moving also takes time, but when I'm finally gone, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna crack open a bottle of champagne and I'm going to host a party with a bunch of hot bitches. And I'm gonna record everything, okay? And I'm gonna share it on YouTube. You know, fuck Suriname party, finally rid of Suriname. And I'm gonna have everyone say fuck Suriname in the background massively, you know, when toasting. You know, fuck Suriname, yay! No more piece of shit worthless than nothing Suriname. COVID-19 is asking me whether I would collab with other magicians when you move to another country. No, I don't see the reason why, unless a magician can give me a good reason. But nah, I work solo in general, and nothing's going to change that. Nothing's gonna change that. So yeah, nothing's gonna change that. But I will be breaking out the champagne. Piece of shit Suriname. Once I leave, piece of shit Suriname, and for good, of course. Someone new, Nawid Mohammed says, hey Moreno, how did you open your astral senses or third eye and learn how to hear spirits? Who are the best spirits for this? Spirits that specialize in clairvoyance, and you need to go through an exercise set to a series of exercises in order to learn how to communicate with spirits. Okay, things have dumbed down. I don't hear anything from anyone. Only one question every now and then. I am giving someone a couple of minutes or a minute at most to shoot another question. Otherwise, I am really for sure this time going to eat my crab. Naveed Mohammed says series of exercises for like what? Listen, I'm not gonna go into that all now, all of that. Okay, you can just Google that exercises for attaining clairvoyance or something similar. Not going to spoon feed anyone. Victor G says we'll all have a party on your yacht. While we drink champagne and shots out of models' bodies. We do shots out of models' bodies. But the crab is waiting, so go. That's a good one. I don't think I'll have a yacht. A yacht is a stretch. A yacht really is a stretch. But yeah. Gregory M says invite me to that Fox Suriname party. Yeah, definitely. Nah, I'm not kidding, okay? It's gonna be a party slash orgy. The after party is gonna be an orgy. So yeah, definitely hot bitches, grade A bitches. Hmm. Code 919 copy pasted my crab and cutlery emoji. So yeah, okay. Eric Anderson says burn in hell Suriname. Code 919 says upload on Pornhub. I don't know. I might make Suriname a bit well known if I upload it because people are gonna wonder, fuck Suriname, what the hell Suriname? And when they Google it, they're going to see, oh look, Suriname. But yeah, I might upload it on X videos or Pornhub or something similar. Okay. This time I am really going to go, but before I go, I'll show you guys the crab that is waiting on me. Ah, let me take the crab out of the fridge. Yeah, this is the crab. Can you guys see it okay? I'm assuming that you cannot see the crab. You guys can't see the crab. Okay, hold up for a second. This is the crab. There you go. This is one crab as an example. So yeah, this is what's waiting for me. And this is why I'm going to stop the stream in a second. Oh, fuck. Oh. Okay, so one more question or statement before I go. Victor G says Le Crab. Code 919 says Lucky Crab being eaten by the ruler of Suriname. Yeah, okay. So we are done pretty much. I'm off to eat my crab. So long. Code 919 says you can eat while talking with us, Murino. I don't think that's possible because you'll just hear blah, 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 you know. And besides, it's impolite and inappropriate to talk with a mouth full. So yeah, and I usually watch a YouTube video while eating. I just watch one of the videos of the channels that I'm subscribed to, and I noticed that Kings and Generals has a delicious new video on Pyrrhus and the Pyrrhic War, so I'm gonna watch that. So by this time the countdown's for real. Okay, 10. Counting down from 10. Bye to everyone, and I'll see you guys later, either later or tomorrow. Code 919 is doing the counting for me, so yeah, I don't have to worry. He's at 4, 3, 2, 1, and bye-bye.